Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today called NG 英文. My name is John Drummond, or 杨浩恩.
Hello, 大家好，欢迎回到我们西平方的节目 NG 英文，我是 Angela。We
have a great episode for you today with our good friend Lily, who has just returned to Taiwan after living in Dubai for the past 4 years, working as a cabin crew member for Emirates.
是的，今天我们很幸运的邀请到了阿联酋航空的空服员 Lily 来到 NG 英文，跟大家聊她的飞行故事，还有从航空业转行做进口红酒销售，以及她一路走来学语言的经验分享。
But before we get to the interview with Lily and I, Angela is going to help us break down some different ways to address or say cabin crew in English and Chinese.Yeah. So take it away, Angela, here on NG 英文。
好的，没问题 John， 谢谢你的介绍。那没有错，今天呢，既然我们邀请到了空姐来到节目上做分享，当然呢，也要来认识一些跟空服有关的英文说法，对不对？所以请大家赶快把你的 NG cheat sheet， 你的 NG 英文笔记小抄准备好，我们要开始咯。好，首先一般我们讲到这个空服员、空姐的时候呢，应该最常想到的字都是 flight attendant。但其实除了这个字以外呢，也可以说 cabin crew， 只是呢这个字是总称，指的是整体的空服人员，就是一般讲的机组人员。好像可能飞机降落的时候，机长都会广播说感谢我们的机组人员，感谢我们的 cabin crew 他们的帮忙，就是这个字 cabin crew。 再来跟车子一样，我们就坐的时候呢，要系好系满的这个安全带是 seat belt，seat 是座椅，那 belt 就是那个带子，所以 seat belt 就是安全带。那这个要系好的动作要怎么说嘞？我们一般可以用 fasten 这个字，不过它很高拐哦，虽然拼法里面是 fasten 有一个 t 在，但却是隐形的，我们不用给它念出来，只要发出 s 的音就可以了。所以下次如果搭外籍航班，有空姐跟你说要绑好安全带 fasten your seat belt， 不是他这个 fasten 的字念错，是这个 t 真的要给他去消音。好，那通常在他们讲到这部分的时候呢，主要也是希望提醒乘客在飞机起降跟遇到乱流的时候，务必要系好安全带以测安全。是说这起降的英文是什么嘞？来，起飞我们说 take off， 那降落的话是 landing， 那这可怕的乱流则是 turbulence。讲到这乱流后，我想到上礼拜我飞纽约的时候，遇到一个超大的，吓得不得了，晃到不行的，人都从椅子上飞起来腾空那一种，吓死人。还好没事，不然我大概就真的飞起来，真的升天了。好了，我讲太多了，我们继续。在空服员把安全措施都讲完了之后，如果你还没睡着，大概就跟我一样是开始找电影，开始等送餐了。那电影这些机上娱乐啦，或者像飞机餐这样子的英文要怎么讲嘞？好，来，因为呢这些是在飞机上做的事情，所以可以用 in flight 这个字来形容。像是机上娱乐，我们说 in flight entertainment。 那同样道理，飞机餐也是在飞机上吃的餐点，所以用 in flight meal。 这样子大家比较了解了吗？希望刚才讲的这些对你的英文学习之路有所帮助。如果有漏掉没有听到或是写下来的，也不用担心，可以上我们的 Spotify 或是 YouTube 频道，随时要听几次就给它听几次。有什么问题也欢迎在底下留言让我们知道哦。那如果大家都准备好了的话，我们就赶快进入今天的访谈内容，听听 Lily 的分享吧。
All right. As always, thank you, Miss Angela Ma, for that wonderful NG 英文 breakdown. My guest today is Taiwanese. She is a retired cabin crew member, now importing and exporting alcohol here in Taiwan. She is a language lover, a food and beverage lover, a world traveler, and so much more. So everyone, please welcome my good friend, Lily.
Hey everyone, I'm Lily.
What's up, Lily? Thank you for joining us today here on NG 英文. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, John. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
So good. So we were just talking off air, and I was remembering how we actually met. And it is such a cute little story. So you were a cabin crew for Emirates, and we were flying to LA, and you were taking care of me while we were flying. Is that right?
访谈一开始，他们谈到当初两个人是在这个飞往美国加州洛杉矶的班机上认识的。那时候 Lily 她还是一位空服员，那这样刚好她的位置呢就在空服员座位的正对面。加上 Lily 她以前也住过旧金山，对加州呢有某种程度上的感情，所以两个人就聊了起来。最后下飞机还一起相约去环球影城的鬼屋玩。他们说因为当时是万圣节，鬼屋挤得满，排队排到天荒地老才轮到他们。待会 Lily 讲到这个 jump seat， 在这里指的是空服员在飞机上起降的时候面对乘客所坐的座椅，就是那些靠在墙上可以折叠起来的那一种。不过呢，它其实也可以用来指驾驶舱里面机师后面的这个椅子哦。所以下次如果你有看到这个字的时候呢，要用前后文来判断它指的是哪一种哦。另外他们也提到了这个大家可能都很想去的环球影城，英文的说法呢就是 Universal Studio。 赶快来听 Lily 的故事吧。
Yeah, that's right, because you were sitting in front of a jump seat back then, and that's why we started talking to each other. Because I used to live in San Francisco, and we got some mutual topic to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to bore you with my stories about California, but actually you ended up becoming a very good friend of mine. And we got to LA, and we decided to go to
Universal Studio!
We went to Universal Studios because it was Halloween, and we both love Halloween.
Yeah, and there's like amazing haunted house. But remember, we were standing there all night long, just waiting for those ghosted house.
Yeah, we were stuck in the lines because the lines were so long, and we just ended up having to be stuck there. But it was a wonderful time, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you are now back in Taiwan. So before we dive into all of that, let's help our audience understand you were working for Emirates and living in Dubai. Is that correct?
前面我们讲到啊，John 他之前是在飞机上跟空姐 Lily 搭讪认识的。没有啦，开玩笑，不是搭讪，是两个人坐正对面，加上对加州都有一份情感，因此开启了两边的话匣子。那接下来呢， Lily 他会分享到啊，因为他以前是阿联酋航空的空服员，所以在公司服务期间呢，都是住在阿联酋的总部杜拜，让他除了在飞机上服务乘客，到各国旅游，也可以回到杜拜的家，享受当地无限供应的温暖阳光。这边 Lily 她有用到一个很实用的片语哦，我们赶快来练习一下。 Used to do something， 意思呢就是我们在过去常做的某件事情，但现在已经没有做了，带有今昔相比的意涵在。像例如他说 I used to live in Dubai， 意思就是他以前都住在杜拜，那言下之意呢就是现在已经不住在那了。好，或者你也可以说 I used to cook for my family， 我以前都会煮饭给家人吃。那背后的意思是现在还有煮吗？没有了，现在就没有煮了。这是很常见很实用的片语，大家可以多造几个句子练习练习哦。
Yeah, I used to live in Dubai for around 4 years. Just working for Emirates, and really love Dubai. I love the weather. I love my lifestyle. I love working as a cabin crew, travel around the world.
Yeah, you had a wonderful life, and I'm so grateful that you had that life because that's how we got to meet, and we got to travel kind of to parts of the world together. And so I know COVID has been obviously such a difficult time for your company, but all airline companies. So you pivoted or changed your career path now because you are back in Taiwan to importing and exporting fine Burgundy. Is that right?
不知道各位听众朋友是不是也跟 John 还有我一样，多少都有耳闻说，这个有些空服员哦，在这个离职之后，甚至在离职前，都会面临到一些生涯规划、转职的问题，不清楚自己是可以再从事什么样的行业。但我们来宾 Lily 她不一样哦，在上段内容里面，她提到以前当空服员的时候住在杜拜，那现在离职回来台湾后，她转换跑道，在一间法国勃艮第红酒的进口商工作。例如说他其实在当空服之前就已经有计划决定说要这个在30岁之前要转行，知道说不会在航空界待太久。虽然说这真的是一份很棒很好的工作，而且他也很喜欢，但始终呢不是希望自己做一辈子的行业。那也因为本身就很喜欢红酒，所以就希望就有这个机会呢进入红酒市场，学习更多的相关资讯。几个字认识一下 pivot， 它这边有转变、转换的意思。例如这边这样说 Lily 她 pivoted her career path， 就是来表达 Lily 她转换职业跑道。另外一个 aviation industry， 大家知道这什么意思吗？ industry 这个字这样在节目上提过相当多次，相信各位应该也不陌生，还有行业、产业的意思。但这个字 aviation 比较难一点点，它是航空，所以两个字放在一起 aviation industry 指的呢就是航空业，或者如果你说 airline industry 也是一样意思哦。
Yeah, I'm now working for a wine industry and we're specializing in imported Burgundy wine. And that's why, the reason why I wanted to move to this job because I love wine even before I moved back to Taiwan. So I think it's going to be a good chance for me to learn something new.
Yeah, I think that's great. And some of my friends who work in the aviation industry, they always tell me, oh, I don't know what else I can do if I stop being cabin crew or something like this. And so I'm really so proud of you because you kind of knew that you wanted to change careers even when you were a cabin crew. Is that right?
Yeah, because my goal was to change my job before I turned 30 because cabin crew is a great job. I love it. I really love it. But it's not a forever career. So yeah, I had a plan to change my job originally, even before a pandemic.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you already were thinking that far ahead. And I'm sorry, obviously, about the pandemic, but I'm very proud of your next chapter of life.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. So, thinking a little bit about the start of your aviation career, as you spent 4 years in the airline industry, is that right?
Yeah.
So, what actually inspired you to get started working in aviation?
接下来 Lily 要跟大家分享当初她是为什么决定要进入航空业当空服嘞。原来啊，因为她的爸爸以前是从事餐旅管理产业，常常呢都会跟各大饭店有合作，所以 Lily 从小时候就会常跟他住饭店，慢慢的也就变得越来越喜欢住高级饭店，享受着所谓的奢华人生。加上呢，后来又有机会在美国住上1年，让他的国际视野大大提升，想要认识更多来自世界各地的朋友，所以 Lily 把握住空服招考，顺利成为阿联酋的空服员。他说其实会想要当空服也是因为自己很喜欢跟人互动，在肺炎疫情发生之前呢，他都会跟飞机上的乘客聊天啊什么的，像之前跟 John 就是因为帮他上调酒开始聊天认识的，但很可惜因为后来肺炎的关系，大家都要保持社交距离，规定不能聊天，所以也就变得几乎没有办法跟旅客互动。有一个字大家如果有跟外国朋友互动或是看英文新闻的话，应该对他都不太陌生。好，这个社交距离我们说 social distance， social distance。 赶快来听这段内容吧。
It's actually a cool question because my dad used to work in the hospitality industry and I love staying at the different hotels, enjoying those so-called luxury life even since I was just 4. And I used to live in US for around 1 year, and during those 1 years, it was my first time living in foreign country, and I start feeling like to explore more about the world, to meet people from different cultures and from different parts of the world.
Yeah, shout out to your dad for getting you involved in the luxury life, the hotel life. And it's so cool because I didn't know that about you, but my father is also a high sales representative and director of sales for hotel brands.
Really?
Yeah, he's worked with the Hilton hotels and many other luxury brands throughout my whole existence. So he showed me that kind of hotel life.
So did you enjoy that?
Oh, I loved it. And it really introduced me to traveling. Because my father was always traveling for work, and sometimes I would get to go with him, and yeah, I felt like, ooh, I feel like a new kid or a new man when I was in these hotels.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Fascinating. So Lily, can you kind of help share with our audience, what was it like to work for Emirates during COVID? And then what was it like for normal work with Emirates?
So one of the main reasons why I chose this job because I love interaction with people. So remember, John, like the first time when we met, because I was serving you some Bloody Mary on the flight. That's why we start our conversation. So that's what I was enjoying because I can have some more conversations with people. But after COVID, we're not allowed to talk to people because just for some social distance. So it's kind of like limited the smile interaction between people.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You actually were serving me such wonderful Bloody Marys, and that is still one of my favorite drinks to this day. So thank you for that. And thank you for really sharing, though, the perspective of this, because I know how much you love people. You know how much I love people.
Yes, exactly.
And to be in a situation where your job really, that's what you do for your job. You're taking care of people. And then to stop that is really, really difficult. So I know that's been a very big challenge for you. And now thinking about, you're going into sales, I believe, with your Burgundy company. Is that right? So you're getting to now work again, talking to people, interacting, having a few drinks with them, and sharing your knowledge of wine. So what is your focus now for, let's say, 2021 and beyond?
前面我们有说到啊，他本身就是一个喜欢交朋友、跟人家互动的人，但是因为肺炎的关系，大大的影响Lily的工作。不过还好呢，因为他现在的新工作是红酒销售业服务，除了是卖自己爱的红酒以外，又可以应用自己的双语能力，继续跟他人聊天互动、交朋友、散播红酒知识。而且他说，其实呢，我们台湾的红酒市场其实还颇大的，比想象中的大很多，真的是有非常多可以学习的地方。如果听众朋友对红酒有兴趣的话，可以跟 Lily 讨教哦。
So it's going to be my work and my love life.
Yeah, I agree. Work and love life. Okay,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because since I'm working for wine industry and I found this wine culture is really attractive, I didn't know wine market is such a huge market before I joined this industry. So I'd like to know more knowledge about it.
Yeah, I actually didn't know how big the wine market was in Taiwan. You were sharing with me off air that it's huge.
I was shocked.
Yeah, like it's incredible. So this is you being able to apply your intelligence and your charm to, a new industry. And most importantly, you can now use your Mandarin and your English.
And I'm actually learning French as well.
And French,
Yes.
which is probably the language of love and wine.
Romantic.
Yes, oui. So Lily, if you don't mind, can we transition a little bit to your incredible language skills? Because you are fluent in Mandarin, English, maybe Taiwanese.
Yes.
And now you are learning French for your wine business. But thinking about your work within Emirates, were you using English probably the majority of the time?
紧接着 Lily 会讲到啊，不管是在杜拜的生活还是在飞机上服务，英文都是主要的沟通语言。毕竟一个是国际大都市，一个是国际航空公司，但我们身在其中，当然也是要用国际共同语言来跟人沟通嘛。好，那接下来要讲的呢是比较重要的部分，大家要专心听哦。这边有一个字 cosmopolitan， 它可以是名词，也可以是形容词。好，那当形容词的时候呢，有国际性、世界性的意思。像杜拜啦、纽约这些国际大都会，就可以说他们是 cosmopolitan cities。只是要注意哦，这同样也有国际性的意思 international， 它的用法就稍微有点不一样。它国际层面涵盖的比较广，只要是跟别的国家有沾上边的，都可以说是 international。但 cosmopolitan 它虽然也是具有国际性，但不只是沾上边而已，是充满多元文化气息，而且氛围也是多半比较前卫时尚一点，比较高端的。像例如你看纽约跟杜拜，他们既是 cosmopolitan 充满来自各国的游客居民，又是一个很国际化跟很多国家互通有无的城市，所以也可以用 international 来形容。但像现在几乎每个有国际航线飞去的城市都可以说是 international city， 但却不一定会是 cosmopolitan。这两个字呢，本人曾经一度分不清楚，想说这拢同款，但其实真的不太一样哦，大家要注意。
Yeah, because English is one of the official language in Dubai, and as a cosmopolitan company, English is the most important things.
Yeah, absolutely. So thinking now about your wine work, is that going to lead you into some European markets?
紧接着 Lily 提到他们公司除了跟法国那边有合作进口红酒以外，也打算进军英国，打进他们的威士忌市场。哇，一讲到这边这个威士忌啊，主持人 John 就兴奋的不得了，希望 Lily 的公司未来也跟爱尔兰那边的厂商合作，让 John 喝到他爱喝的爱尔兰威士忌。那这边等一下 John 在听到这个 Lily 他们公司打算进军威士忌市场的时候，他就说了这一句 Now you're speaking my language。 这是什么意思嘞？是Lily 你现在终于在说我的语言了吗？不是一直 Lily 都是在讲英文吗？好，其实这是片语 speak the same language 的变化型，还有这个共同想法、共同价值观的意思。因为 Lily 讲到重点啊，讲到她爱喝的威士忌，所以才说了这句 Now you're speaking my language， 就是有点意思像是 Now you're talking， 就有一种这样才对嘛，终于谈到威士忌了，我喜欢这样子的意思。那如果今天你说我跟这人怎么聊就聊不来，讲话半句不投机这样子，没有共同话题，没有共同的那个价值观想法，很像一个在讲火星文，一个在讲金星文这样子，没办法沟通，就可以说 We don't speak the same language。 马上来听这段内容。
So we're actually targeting to France, and now we're going to start our whiskey business as well. So we're going to hit the UK market.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. We have wine in France, and we have whiskey in England, and potentially my favorite style of whiskey is Irish whiskey, so maybe Ireland as well. I like this company. I'm going to have to stay in touch with you now even more. I love it. Well, thinking about your development, can you share maybe some tips and advice with our language listeners? What has really helped you over the years?
在这段访谈里呢 Lily 会跟大家分享一些学外语的小撇步。其实就像我们很多其他来宾曾经提过的一样，他说呢，学语言的环境真的很重要，如果不能到那个国家去置身其中，那我们就自己创造，像是可以看外国影集搭配中文字幕，去让自己熟悉在学那个语言它的发音啦、句型等等，或者呢也可以就直接像他这样跟 John 讲话一样，就直接找讲那个语言的母语人士来跟他们对话练习。
So I think the environment is the most important thing to learn the new language. So I would say try to create a language learning environment like Netflix without Chinese subtitle, having conversation with native speakers just like how I talked to John. I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, beautiful. And I think that was you just being comfortable. You know, obviously I was talking to you and trying to, ask you questions about your life, but you were actually so comfortable, so you just flowed very naturally in that with me. And now doing an interview, I know it feels a little forced, right? But you're doing so great in this too, and this is just the beauty and kind of the understanding of, oh yeah, this is using language. Awesome, Lily. So a question I'd love to ask here on NG Ingwen is, do you remember maybe any funny stories with your English, whether it's listening or speaking, that you've had over the years?
接下来 Lily 会说到啊，她曾经有一次接到外国客人的电话，对方提到这个字 lager 让她不知所措，想说公司是红酒公司啊，又不是什么家具制作公司，怎么会有人打电话来问有关木材的事情，还就直接给人家挂电话。后来呢才知道说原来对方讲的是淡啤酒 lager Lager， 不是讲木材 log。 我们赶快来听这段有趣的分享。
Yeah, so actually back a few months ago, when I just started my new job for wine company, I got a phone call from a stranger, and he was asking about something about lager. And I was like, really? I'm not working for a furniture making company. So I was like, okay, I was embarrassed. So I asked the guy, so what are you actually looking for? Lager? And so he was talking about log, like wood.
Yeah, wood, yeah.
Yeah. So I was there for like 5 seconds. I didn't know how to react. And I just hung on the phone.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so you are talking about lager, a style of beer that he was asking about. But yeah, you thought he was talking about trees and maybe furniture because he said a log. Oh my goodness, that's a great story.
Because I've never heard about lager. So it was my first time someone really asked me about it.
Yeah. Lager is a very popular style of beer. So I'm glad you now know that, because I'm going to quiz you later about beer.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, Lily, it's been a pleasure. I know 2020 has been a very challenging year for everyone, including us both. But it seems like you have closed a chapter on the aviation industry and are beautifully stepping into the alcohol industry, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
The last question is, if you could go back in time and talk to a younger Lily, would there be any advice you give yourself about language or life?
访谈最后 Lily 会想要跟从前的自己说，要勇往直前，不要放弃，努力去找属于自己的热情。 因为当初呢，他就是因为心中这份热忱没有放弃自己，面试了13间航空公司，终于顺利上了阿联酋航空的招考。我们赶快来听访谈最后这段内容吧。
Yeah, so I would like to tell the younger Lily that never give up and just find your passion. Because for me, I tried to apply for cabin crew this job for 13 times and I finally got it. And it was my first try too with Emirates. So I'm appreciative that I didn't give up on myself.
Wow, that is an incredible story, Lily. So essentially, you applied 13 times with different airline companies, and then on the 14th time or the 13th time, Emirates hired you?
The 13 times.
The 13th time. Lucky number 13.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so you're applying for a lot of Asian airlines, but actually Emirates chose you.
Yeah, because I think because of my personality, it's just like international airlines more. That's why it's easier for me to apply for it.
Yeah, wonderful. And you never gave up. I love that. Well, I'm so happy for all of your growth and your new chapter in the alcohol industry. Can people follow along with your wonderful life online? You are a fantastic photographer, by the way, and I'm sure people want to know.
Yeah, sure. You can check out my Instagram account, which is Lily, LILYWGRAM.
Lily W. Graham.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, Lily. Well, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you nothing but success, and I'll see you and talk to you really soon.
Thank you, John. See you soon.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Peace.
Ciao.
All right. Well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG, NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
好，那我们今天西平方的节目 NG 英文就到这边告一段落啦。感谢大家的收听，别忘了到 IG 搜寻我们的粉丝专页 NG English 再底线 ICRT。大家也要记得每周三早上6点半到7点，或是晚上9点到9点半，把广播调到 ICRT FM 100，准时收听我们节目哦。那也欢迎各位上网搜寻西平方的攻其不备课程，或者呢是到我们西平方的官网多读一些有关 NG 英文的文章，看看有哪些是可以吸收学起来的小撇步哦。我们下周见了，拜拜。